Welcome back, everyone, to what in all likelihood will be our final episode in our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. Now, things could change if perhaps they come out with another huge update to add more cars or, a ton of new tracks, that kind of thing, more series, and fundamentally change the game. But in all likelihood, this will be our last video as we finish out the year. If you were with us in our last video, you know that we did not have a good race. That's two bad races for us in a row in the championship, and we are now sitting a full 12 points out of the championship, eliminating any realistic chance we have in this final race for a championship. So essentially what we need is to sweep the podium and for them not to get any points at all to have any shot at it. So for all intents and purposes, no good for us. Okay, let's go ahead and do the interview. And more of these. I guess it's because it's getting toward the end of the season. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and answer it that way so we can get the buttered up trait, and they will be open to talking to us for next year. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward, get that car repair completed. And so here we are. We're going to be using, for sure, using this in our final race of the year, because why not? We're going to let it get, okay, you see the reliability work nearly done. Let's see, do we want to fix this? Of course we want to fix this. Spend the money, and let's get that thing fixed. As far as the car goes, okay, we're done there. Let's put everything on this final race. So the final race, acceleration is crucial. Top speed and deceleration are also very useful. So let's see what we've got. All right, as far as brakes, we pretty much got as much as we're going to get. And the engine, pretty much the same thing here. We don't have really any expectation of getting better than that. Okay, we're pretty much maxed out here. We already have this one available to us. And let's see where else we go from here. Both of the rear wings are at 420. We'll try to get that as high as we can. It says maximum at 8 days after the race. So we're just going to give it our best shot and get all we can. Sponsorship, we're done with that. Okay, so we're going to hope for the best. We're going to bring the absolute best car that we can to this final event as we finish up this Let's Play series. I don't know exactly how many hours I have to this point in the game, but it's over 300. So I've played quite a bit of this game, and it would take a lot to bring me back and do another series or another season. Okay, so right now we're thinking, okay, they're saying our acceleration is a bit lackluster. Okay, it's interesting spelling of lackluster, but working on any new parts, yeah, our acceleration is definitely not all that great. We're falling behind there. This is where our lack of buildings and the fact that we started out in the highest series, we didn't give ourselves really a lot of chance to an opportunity to catch up. And it's finally caught up with us in the championship standing. Although we are definitely doing much better than we could have in the past. Okay, a little bit of extra fitness and marketability never hurts for sure. I was worried that was going to be some sort of a distraction trait that was going to come up, but did not turn out that way. All right, let's go ahead and go for the gusto. At this point, we might as well use this one. Not that it particularly matters very much at this point. All right, let's see what we get. Okay, we know we've got one change to make, and that is here. And this will get a large jump, nearly 40 full points of a jump for Reeve. So again, we're just trying to give ourselves the absolute best chance that we possibly can here in this final race. Again, it's not a realistic chance by any stretch of the imagination, but it is what it is. And with our sponsorship selected and our parts fitted, I'll see you at the racetrack. All right, qualifying and practice now out of the way, and we're starting pretty good. We're going to start 5th and 7th, and something that I don't remember seeing previously this season is that Reeve will actually start ahead of Fetterman. So an interesting turn of events there. You see the bonuses to wet tires even though it isn't raining, and that is because essentially the entire practice session was run in full wets. It was drenched out there on the track, so that's the reason for that. And the light footed for ultra softs, there are no ultra softs in this race, so that is completely worthless. But it's the only other option we had, couldn't do the circumstances. And then we got the faster tire changes here as well. Now on the on the setup side of things, we've got a 91%, again, holding to my strategy this year of simply handicapping everything by allowing the AI to control practice and qualifying, and I only make one adjustment to the setup. That's how we got here. And of course, they have a wonderful idea of using up all the tires that they possibly can during practice and qualifying, leaving very few sets for the race, and definitely not as many as we need. But we can run 6 laps here on fuel at our accelerated engine mapping anyway, so which would be plenty to make it so we could do 6, 6, and 5 and make our 17 laps. So that would be fine. However, because of our beginning tire wear, this is going to be very interesting to see if we can do this. So that's what we have at the start. We're going to start out with the high engine mode and of course neutral, trying to make these tires last as long as we possibly can. At least we need this to be our 5-lap stint. So we'll see how this goes. And let's go ahead and get everything set up for the beginning of the race. Swap our camera angle around, and we're off and running. So 4th and 6th, we're up to 3rd now with Reeve. That's a great start. Now we're up to 2nd, and somehow we are now in front. How in the world did that happen? We are the purple cars are the ones we are fighting for a championship, so we really need for them to not finish in the points. I don't ever like to wish bad luck on anybody, even in a computer game, even though these are simply AI and not human opponents. But I don't like to wish against anybody, so I will not do so. I will simply say that the only shot we have, as far-flung as it might be, is to have them not finish in the points whatsoever, and we need to essentially sweep the top 2 spots in the podium. Something along those lines would get us what we need, but that's pretty much it. And we need to have the fastest lap in the race and all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm still not sure we could do it even with that. All right, right now you see that they're going to start coming in for the pit stops. All right, so now we're back to 5th and 6th, which sounds a little bit more like it. We'll pick up 1 spot here due to the pit stop cycle. So 4th and 5th is not bad. Not bad at all. All right, but I'm going to have to make a choice here, and we're going to conserve a little bit with Fetterman because I can't have both cars coming in at the same time. That would stack them up in the pits and ruin any chance we had of any type of a good finish. All right, so here we go. We're on lap 5, and I am now going to bring in, you can see here, the AI has used up all the tires. Let's make sure there's no rain coming. Doesn't appear to be. So now we have to go on to the medium tires, which are great for long runs, but because of our fuel options, there are no long runs for us. So we're going to need to run 6 and 6 for our last 2 stints. We're going to go ahead and keep using those fast stops at this point just to see what type of penalty it's going to give me. If it'll continue to give me these 6 and 8 and 10 second penalties. All right, we are running extremely low on tires, which is going to make it very interesting for Fetterman to make it on tires before hitting that plateau. All right, so here we go. we are conserving as best we can. We'll need to come in this time by, and once again, we have no good sets of tires remaining. I'm going to go ahead and try these and see if I can get them to last. But it doesn't look like I'm going to have enough tire to last the 6 laps I need them to last. All right, we're going to push as hard as we can with Reeve. All right, and Fetterman in the meantime is just trying to make it at this point. Okay, so no penalty there. That's good. There we go. So now we're on the softer rubber. Hopefully we can make up some spots. That would be great. You can see here, Reeve is running in third, so that is absolutely great pace that we have, and we're the first car that is on the medium tire. All right, so Fetterman not having a great time right now, back in 13th. So we can't seem to get both of our cars running great at the same time. All right, so we are pushing extremely hard, and 13th place car is about to come into the pits. So that'll give us a little bit more breathing room. Let's move up to Reeve. All right, we now move up to second because of the pit stop. And again, we're just going to burn through these tires as much as we need to because, hey, it's our only shot. And Fetterman not doing well back in 10th. But does have a little bit of green track in front, or a little bit of free track. Maybe he can get some speed. Oh, wow, I'm not sure why we left the door open that much. We just gave second place away right there. And now we've decided apparently to give away third, fourth, fifth, and probably sixth as well. So, boy, when we lose spots, we lose them all at one time. All right, so the cars are fairly evenly spaced out now for the purposes of pit stops, which will begin in a few more laps. And the first pit stop at this point would appear to be Fetterman back in 10th, simply because he's on the tires that he's going to need some new tires here very shortly. So we're going to go ahead and put on the set of mediums. And we've got to have 6 laps remaining. There we go. So we'll keep an eye on the pit stop here and just see how it goes, see if we get any penalties, anything. Nope, look good. 8.8 seconds, not bad. Now that frees up the pits. Okay, so Reed now moves back up to second position. Unfortunately, first and third are the team that we don't need them to be. Okay, so now it's time for our final pit stop, where we will have 4 laps left. Do I have any tires that can get me there? Yes, I do. Okay, try to get the quickest pit stop we can. Hopefully no errors. Okay, we're going to go full attack mode here with Fetterman. Why not? So we are running, wow, the 1 and 2 cars, which are from Hammer. They have made an extra pit stop and are way ahead of us. That just goes to show you how much more speed they have than us. All right, so we're in good shape in third now. Fetterman is not having a good time back in 9th. Hopefully he can move up some more spots, but we really want to finish this off. We want to go out in style. We're not going to be able to come home with a victory, but we want to come home with the best possible finishes that we can in this final race. So here you can see Chantry is out front and has an extra pit stop over us. Amazing. And then back in 4th about to be third and about to be second here. It comes Eskin, who is just blowing by us. You can see there is just no chance for us. That we have absolutely no chance against those guys. So they had a few bad races there, which allowed us to catch up, and we actually got tied with them. But then it all fell apart for us, and we had a very humbling few moments there. All right, so now we're starting our final lap. So we are third and ninth. Third position, and we have no shot at second. Ninth, we are a good bit behind eighth. So it looks like third and ninth are best case scenario for us at this point. But the moral of the story here is just that Hammer has just annihilated the competition. Wow. Wow, what a display of dominance from that team. If we had probably another year, possibly two, I think we could get up to them in performance and everything, but wow. Their combination of drivers and car, just too much. Just too much. They're making an extra pit stop, and they're going so fast that they can make it work. We did it on 2 stops, as did pretty much everybody else in the field. They did it on 3 stops, and we're just hammering away at this thing. Great job. Great job there. Okay, no risk of breaking any rules and scrutineering for us. So we come home third and ninth. Again, only one of our cars in the points. But look here, you get the final race, double points, and we couldn't do anything with it. So this was our chance. I actually forgot about the double points. So that actually gave us a shot at this thing, a little bit more realistic chance at it, but wow. And if this doesn't explain everything you need to know, Chantry was way down in points. In fact, I'm pretty sure they picked Chantry up at some point later in the season, and you can see the difference it's made. They sweep the top 2 spots in driver championship and win in a blowout in the team championship as well. So we'll move on through the final few screens here, as the championship will be awarded, and a well-deserved and well-earned championship for Hammer. But for us, once again, we were only expected to be in 4th, and that was pretty risky for us at the time, I think. But now we will come home in a solid 2nd place. We were no doubt the 2nd place team in the paddock for this year, and we're going to come home with about $8.5 million to spare, which of course I would generally be using to upgrade our HQ for next year. But you can see here, out of 13 events, we had 5 race wins and 8 podiums there for Eskin. Hard to beat that. And then the races they didn't win, we won 3 events, and then there are only a few left for anyone else. You can see the prize money, very nice, $20 million that you take home as the championship team. So overall, I think this was a very successful season for us. You know, you look at where we were, we ended up 3rd on the grid as far as the performance of our car, but we were falling farther and farther behind on the driver side of things. So yes, I could have made some drastic moves and, you know, fired drivers and demoted drivers and that kind of thing. But again, I wanted to stay with the course and see how this thing played out. And now we know. So team wise, I think we came out very nice, because I was definitely not happy with that 4th place, or very comfortable with that 4th place target at the beginning of the season, but it turned out to be actually a little bit low for us. So I really appreciate you joining me, not only for this particular video in this season, but for the entire series in our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So again, thank you very much for joining me, and we'll look forward to seeing what new games and new experiences we can have together here at Knee Pit Gaming.